But with all that being said, um, so like it. With that being said, I had came across this article, and the article went into the same thing that video spoke on. You people believe that, like I said again, it was just the tribes of the Northern American Indians or the Gadites and Reubenites. Basically, they held a feast with these Amalekites. These so-called red people that are not white but red in appearance. But in actuality, it was a festival because they were slaughtering those tribes, and then they would have a feast after each tribe. And then, I mean, after each massacre, to the point where Abraham Lincoln declared it a law, not just one, it was one instead of them massacring the tribe and then having a feast. You know what I mean? And that's why Esau is the bloody man. You know what I mean? In America, it's the bloody city. But I wanted to go into that word smell. So when you go into that word smell is ruch, ruch, ruch. And it means to blow, breathe. So it's like the rucha. Only literally to smell by implication, perceive, figuratively to enjoy, accept, touch, quick understanding, to quicken, to make alive. So it's the spirit. So basically the Lord said his spirit would not be in these feast days. But yet still, when you go into that word smell, 0706, which is a Hebrew word, and basically saying his spirit will not be at these solemn assemblies. So this is not of the Lord, And then again, like I said, it's to the detriment of, Jake, because again, contrary to what people believe, the North American Indians are of one of the 12 tribes, the tribe of Gad. And we say that through faith because when you go into the scriptures and actually look at the prophecies, it talks about the tribe of Gad as a troop, but at the end a troop shall overcome them, but at the end they shall overcome. So the tribe of Gad was conquered by who? The armies of Esau Edom. Because when Esau Edom took to this land, they were at war with the North American Indians, and the North American Indians or the tribe of Gad was winning up until the point of what? They created that Gatling gun, knowing how that was spiritually ordained for the troop to overcome Gad. But I'm not trying to go really deep on it. You know what I mean? At the end, the scriptures talk about, because I was listening to a statement. I'm trying to debate on. I'm gonna pray on it because I wanted to do a video on that fucking nigga Charleston White. You know what I mean? Because he made some statements lately. He made some. The scriptures talk about. How does it go? I think it's in the book of Romans. It talks about. So what if some did not believe? The book of Romans, chapter 3, and it reads. The book of Romans chapter 3 and verse 3, and it reads, for what if some did not believe, shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua without effect? So it says, so what if some did not believe? So it don't matter if you don't believe the scriptures or believe the doctrine, you know what I mean? This nigga said he believed in his mama though. This nigga said that, man. Like, this is a grown ass man. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with loving. The scriptures tell you to honor thy mother and thy father. So I don't want you to take the wrong idea of it. But at the same time, that's about as bad as saying a black woman God. You know what I mean? Showing you how stupid a nigga is. Like, the man got the seed. So how the fuck is she the God? Without you busting the seed in her. Did you know that a woman can't make a man. Only a man can make another fucking man. I mean, like I said, but this ain't about all, woman, man, because people will take something and they don't take nothing critically or listening to it and, like basically observing or paying attention. They'll just get emotional. You know what I mean? This ain't about who is, you know what I mean? The Most High God created man and woman and gave them both attributes that are basically, detrimental and that you need for, I mean, in order for, without a man and a woman, you wouldn't have life for real. You know what I mean? That's how the Lord made everything in unison. But this world is turned upside down so fucking badly that you'll have a woman want to be a man and a man want to be a woman. And man, anyhow, so, that nigga, that 2/3 nigga, when it talks about, it's a many of scriptures about a fool, but just because you don't believe in a doctrine doesn't mean it's not going to come to pass. The scriptures talk about everything that we speak on coming to pass. This stupid ass nigga trying to gain a platform in another man, that's like calling yourself a king in another man's kingdom. It can't be two fucking kings in one kingdom. How do you, how stupid, you know what I mean? Like, anyhow, Salakia. And usually kingdoms is taken by force. Look at Esau Edom. He came to this land. First they came into the whole thing of he discovered the land. Well, how do you discover something when men were already on the land? No, he took the land. But the funny part is you can't be both. You want to be sympathized with and be a gangster too. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can't be both. This is a book of and this devil basically, it talks about this man being a liar. This is the book of John chapter 8, verse 44. And it reads, now this is going into, 2/3 of our people, but it's going into their father, which is, this red Hebrew Edomite, they daddy Esau. John 8, verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So, like I say, this man created this holiday on bloodshed, and then covered it up and lied about it. You know what I mean? As a man, one thing, a man's supposed to, well, not just a man, any adult, you're supposed to not be ashamed of anything you chose to do. You know what I mean? If you choosing to, partake in certain things, well, that's your choice. You know what I mean? But a lot of people in America do a lot of shit, behind closed doors and in the dark. The scriptures talk about anything that's done in the dark shall come to the light. That's why all these things are being exposed now. And every year we do videos about this holiday, and you got people that just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's certain foods you're not supposed to eat, but yet still people feel that, oh, you can. The scriptures talk about how the Most High God is never changing. He says it's the same as he was yesterday, today, and forever. So all the laws, even Messiah, he said, I came not to break the law, but to fulfill, because it was written for him to fulfill certain prophecies. What makes the Messiah so powerful is because of the fact he's the only man that actually walked the earth and never broke one of the laws, statutes, and commandments. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3, and it reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So when you go into that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, that's going into our nation falling away from their laws, such as commandments, their heritage. Our people basically emulating, Esau, Edom, and the other nations. You know what I mean? That literally we fell away from our heritage, you know what I mean? And it tells you, I believe in the book of Baruch, it talks about, I believe it's the book of Baruch where it talks about in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. That's why you've seen this great awakening. What's that in Romans chapter 13? It talks about knowing that it's high time is the time to awake out of sleep. When you got most of our nation, as well as these people that's lulled to sleep. And that's what the matrix is. People didn't even understand that. This place is the matrix because people, it's so many things going on, but people not even aware of it. They don't have a spiritual eyes because a lot of people don't have no spirituality. People talk about they believe in the scriptures, but then yet still they don't believe in miracles. Proving that when they came out with that jump shot. But motherfuckers so goofy, they literally let them put something that they experimented with inside their body as opposed to trusting in the Lord. You had churches literally telling people, yeah, take that. Then you wonder why you got all these young people falling the fuck out and dying and shit. So when you go into the son of perdition, let's look at the word perdition. Because basically mean destruction. And what did that man do? This red Hebrew Edomite, the devil? Destruction, which consists of eternal misery and hell. Destroying, utter destruction. The word is
Strong's G 684.
apolia. And it means destroying, utter destruction of vessels. So, you know what I mean? The son of prediction, the son of destruction. This man, everything he creates is something that's devastating to destroy. You know, they came up with the Winchester rifle, all these different guns. Well, that blessing was the sword. When you go into the book of Genesis, it talks about Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. He should live off the sword, and that's how he's basically ruled the earth. You know, when you take time to think about it, like every land, like they basically bullied their way into everything. You know what I mean? And that's facts, though. You know. So the son of perdition is who? This red Hebrew Edomite, who you people ignorantly call the so-called white man. You know, and you know, I mean, it was all spiritual, but you know, when you go into like the nature of this devil, you know, it talks about that in the book of Micah, chapter, 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning's light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. They covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Who do they oppress? Heritage. You know, you got so-called white people which are of the tribe of Amalek. Go look that up. I'm not even going to break it down because we coming to the point now, this knowledge has basically been pushed to the four corners of the earth. And, you know, we did all the heavy, well, first and foremost, our elder apostles, the man of the great millstone who teach and do real well that came before us, that gave us this knowledge. They've done all the heavy lifting, and then, you know, we entered into their labors. But then literally you got these individuals like Kanye West and Kyrie that's actually, Kyrie didn't even make a statement. All he did was post a link. If anybody followed that shit, and then to show you how, like, what's the word, demasculated our men are, this man literally retracted and recanted everything. So that should make you question, like, well, damn, these men literally are apologizing based on what? You know what I'm saying? They literally fucking with their money. You know what I mean? So while you thinking you free and a nigga think, oh, money will save you, the scriptures in the book of Ezekiel tell you they shall cast their gold and silver in the streets. The money ain't gonna fucking save you, especially this dollar note. I mean, go look up that you know, a fiat dollar. In history, every fiat dollar currency has failed. Every one. And the last major time it did was in what they call the Weimar Republic, which is where basically Hitler came to power. And that's all factual. It was a fiat currency. And if you look at it now, Germany is fucked up right now today. You know, if you go do some research, they say there's 54 countries around the world that's literally basically going bankrupt. So, you know, not only did they oppress a man in his house because they call themselves the people of the Bible, but then we saying you not the people of the Bible, we are, but they literally ain't going. Put it like this. I can defend why I believe I'm the person in the Bible. I'm an Israelite based on the scriptures. They can't do that. What they doing is saying we gonna call the JDL, the Jewish Defamation League or whatever. That's basically the one that basically made Kyrie basically spend $500,000 or some shit, donate $500,000, which that was they made him pay that. That wasn't no donation. He paid it to them. Like that was like a bribe. But they doing shit like that. They created an organization. If you say some shit they don't like, they can fine you. You can go to jail. But they you know what I mean? Like this thing's supposed to be spiritual. Yet still they doing carnal shit. And that's how you know they're not the people. You know, the scriptures talk about how when the true Israelites get back into the land that the Most High God deemed for them, it wouldn't be no war on the earth anymore. How the fuck is it all this war going on? Now go puzzle that shit. Salakia for my Swahili. Book of Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause something to fall. And the major mischief they trying to plan to do is basically to get everybody stamped with that charagma, to get everybody to partake in that C-hip, the M-A-R-K. And that's lightweight around the corner. You can feel it in the air, you know what I mean? They got legislation about to pass next month and going into digital dollars, and then this whole situation with this FTX crypto shit, you know what I mean? Which people don't even see what's about to happen. The Fed is trying to actually create a digital dollar that's regulated. You know, Bitcoin and all that shit is deregulated. So anybody can do it. They can't track the money, none of that. But the Feds want to be able to, it's just like how the lottery was or alcohol. Okay, so that's the most layman way I can break it down. When you went into alcohol or bootlegging anything, playing the numbers, they seen all that money and the Fed wanted their piece. So they came in and regulated. And that's what the fuck they about to do with the cryptocurrency. So, you know what I mean? And like I said again, that's going to be major mischief. What else? So I'm gonna end with this because the scriptures talk about never trust thy enemy. You know what I mean? This is the book of Ecclesiasticus in the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. It reads, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So if you have an enemy, and the scriptures talk about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, Haitians, who make up some of the 12 tribes of Israel, you do have enemies. The book of Psalms, I believe, chapter 83 goes into, the different nations conspiring against you. That's why when you go into like these G20 summits and shit like that, you don't have no nation at that table representing so-called blacks you know what I mean? You got all these other nations up there though. It reads verse 11. Oh, it says, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Iron naturally rusts. That's why you got to constantly polish it and whatnot. So it says, this nigga, this devil, this red fucking devil, he's so much of wickedness that, he just naturally wicked. You know what I mean? It tells you in the scriptures about who can make straight what the Most High have made crook. It's like how what the scriptures say. Oh, not the scriptures. I said the scripture. What they say in the street, you can't make a hoe into a housewife. If the bitch a hoe, she gonna naturally just be a hoe. And you know what? That's so spiritual. I said the scriptures, but now that I think about it, when you go into the book of Hosea, the Lord made him marry a prostitute. And he caught hell dealing with that bitch. But at the same time, it was all, when you really understand the scriptures, the Lord, when he used prophets, the prophets was more in tune and connected to the Most High God than any person on the earth. Because of how the Lord felt, he made them go through certain things. That's why literally Isaiah had to walk around asshole naked. Ezekiel had to eat his own shit. Well, no, I don't think he ate his shit. I think he ate cow shit. Well, dung, a lot of people don't. Some people can't deal with the vulgarity of words. But we all fucking grown individuals. We are people that literally had this. Our ancestors came on this over here on ships. Basically, we are told we are some of the weakest people on the fucking planet, but you got so-called white people that can't even deal with losing money. They'll jump out a fucking window. That wasn't niggas that was doing that. If you go look up the research on that, during the Great Depression, niggas was literally, so I hate to say it like that, but Jake was literally surviving, sustaining. They actually was doing well. And that's why when you go into Black Wall Street, they got so jealous that they came and bombed the fucking city. So it ain't about we need them. It's about the fact that you ain't about to escape them because this is a judgment from on high. The Lord brought you into America to pay out your, and we all gonna suffer it. Now, some is gonna be spared because at the end of the day, they have repented. That's the whole point of this. Repentance and to come back to the law, statutes, commandment. Because, like I said, this is a hell of a punishment. But it's a punishment. This ain't supposed to be forever. And like I said, and if you got a spiritual eye, you could literally see that this shit is almost to an end. This ain't even got a Thanksgiving Day holiday feel. And I've been stopped celebrating these fucking holidays even before I came to the truth. We never really partook into these holidays the way my father raised me. So it's all spiritual anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I never really gave a fuck about these, but I came to find out more knowledge since I grew in age, and the Lord directed my paths to find out certain information. But it never really shocked me or tripped me out. You know, I take a plate. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Because you know, if it's lawful food, I'll take a plate. But as far as like partaking in the whole thing, you know, we sitting here, you know, out of all the one time out the year we all come together, like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, the whole point is these motherfucking devils so much of liars. You know what I mean? Like, literally, it's not even based on a whole family vibe. It's based on they slaughtered, you know, the indigenous people that was already at this land. That's showing you how much the fucking devil. And if he's done that, why would it talks about who say how the scripture go? It say damn, if he can't beat it's a scripture that talk about basically the devil not being nice to his own kind. So to one that's not good to himself, who will he be good to? Roughly paraphrase. So if he don't even look out for his own, what you think you got covered? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, his own people about to partake. His own people partaking in this shit now. Do y'all know how much shit going on? Like the one brother from North Carolina did the videos about in the news. I mean, do you know how much judgment and like a lady basically was taking such a beating, she literally took her baby and walked in front of literally a train and took herself out. Brother call it deleting yourself. Then the one dude, the one lady, it was looking like an Edomite woman. She couldn't afford to put her mother in the home, so she took her out. She deleted her. I mean, and it's just like two I could think off the top of the head. The whole video was an hour long, and all he was talking about was people doing killing, like these people losing their mind. Wait till like motherfucking really like, wait till like a pack of chicken is like $35. You know, like you gonna see, you know, the beast in man. Like Paul said, I had to fight with beast. Verse 11, though he humbled himself and go crouching, and he humbled himself when you go into that article. Because like I said, basically what they were speaking on is this article. So I'm going to let you see it, and you can look it up for yourself. It says, the land is ours, 1637. I can't pronounce that. Parakeet. I know I'm butchering that. Massacre, the real story of the annual U.S. Thanksgiving. So they did this every year. I mean, no, the annual. They was doing this every massacre, but then basically, because it might have been like a massacre over here in Connecticut, then one in Massachusetts. So they basically just broke it down to like one time out the year. Says the next day, the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men and women and children have been murdered. So back into the article, it reads, well, no, because I wanted the article because it said how he taught them how to, so it says, in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patex Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. So that's this devil humbling himself and go crouch and yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. And they showed that when they basically turned around and slaughtered them, because you know, that basically they was slaughtering all kind of tribes. So you had different Indians calling themselves under different names, different tribes, but they was going around slaughtering all these different Indians. But they even slaughtered the ones that wasn't violent, and it goes into that. Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled. During the feasting, the hacked off heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape their madness. Their chief was beheaded as well. So, and it reads for verse 12, set him not by thee, least when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. And what did they do? They overthrown the Gadites and the Reubenites, and then took the land as if it was theirs. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Verse 13. This is a good point. Who will pity a charmer that's bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So who's going to pity you if you know this is a serpent? Like that old saying when they would say, it was a snake that was hurt. So basically the guy was like, well, you a snake, I ain't gonna help you. But the snake like, please, please, please. And then he pick him up and help him. And then the snake bite him. And he like, well, I just helped you. Why you bite me? He say, nigga, I'm a snake. So you know what I mean? If this devil, like I said, literally did all, your history proves your nature. So who gonna pity you if you choose to deal with this devil and he bites your dumb ass? If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of your power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to call Elohim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash Brakatham. Double honors to my apostles, the elders, the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Mawaf lababal. Shalom.